Knox Country is big, and I mean really big, like really, really big. And yeah, you could settle down in Riverside, or Echo Creek. In fact, I've done both. But what if we utilized the entire map? Welcome to Thriving in Knox Country. This is the build. I'm taking DIY Expert for the EXP bonuses, and otherwise, this is a pretty standard build. And today, I'm just me. I'm just Wavesy. Now, as we go through this first house and get some starter gear, water, and all that, I have to make some assumptions about you. Yes, you. I'm going to assume that you know how to take care of yourself, keep yourself fed, watered, and safe from zombies. You can do that? You can? Great. I love to hear it. Now, we start our grand adventure here in West Point, but that's not really the point. I mean, West Point's not the point. It doesn't matter. We're only here for a brief period of time to gather up a few things that we need before we head to our first, more permanent shelter, a place that we could really get jiggy with it. And there's really just 5 main places that we want to visit while we're here, if we can. That is the pharmacy, the gun shop, the large convenience store, the hardware store, and the bookshop. We'll get into each of these as we get there, but these 5 places offer important loot that we really would like to bring with us if we can. As I head to the convenience store, I tried to drop by some garages and sheds, hoping to find a sledgehammer. If we don't find one, there's a good chance that we won't be able to actually get into the gun shop before we leave West Point. If we can't, that's okay, but it would save us a lot of headache later. Near the large convenience store, there were a lot more zombies than I was expecting, but we can handle that with our trusty friend, yelling. The goal is to drag most of these boys and girls away from here and make our life a little easier. And since we're not staying here long term, it's okay not to clear everything. Once we ditched most of these nerds, I came back, and to my surprise, simply yelling a whole bunch didn't solve all my problems. And given that I was already getting exerted from fighting just one of these zombies, it was time for a little detour. I headed up the road to this little parking lot and started checking trunks and cars for some weapons and maybe a car key. And to my immense delight, as you can clearly hear in my voice, I found both. I actually found 2 taxis with keys, but I decided to just take a quick rest in the teal car before settling on the bright yellow taxi. Now that I had a car, I needed to go back and grab some fuel, so please, enjoy this quick little montage with some delightful music made by Rory. He's a fantastic musician here on YouTube, and you can find a link to his channel in the description. And it's above the fold, because he's worth it. Here at the pharmacy, we are looking for 4 main meds, and those are caffeine pills, painkillers, beta blockers, and sleeping pills. All 4 are incredibly useful, and grabbing a little stockpile now will make later grinds a lot easier. In a pinch, you can use sleeping pills as a budget beta blocker. If you can find a pharmacist zombie, they may have a key to get you in the back of the pharmacy where you can get a whole bunch of extra meds. Sadly, I had no such luck. To cope with low-rolling multiple shops already, I decided to ring my taxi's dinner bell and start the next phase of our plan. We need to pull zombies away from the supermarket and the gun store, and this is going to be kind of a two-part process. First, however, we just repeatedly rang our bell as we slowly crept into the woods, before we had ourselves a little tuna snack that we got from home. After we finished our snack, we took off into the woods and started to loop back towards the supermarket. As you can see, not all of our neighbors came to dinner up north, and now we need to repeat the process to the south. We'll need to come back from a third direction, but thankfully, all roads lead to Gigamart. I stopped in this parking lot because some of these slowpokes were still shambling where I had rang the dinner bell, and I took this opportunity to get disappointed by the hardware store's lack of sledgehammers, of which I informed another patron that they were completely out. I then went to the bookstore to once again low-roll another shop and find no useful magazines, but I'm sure someone in the comments will manage to find some way that this run has actually been very lucky and that I'm simply a random seed merchant. Despite things not going exactly as I had hoped, we did manage to get into the Gigamart with no problems, and I found myself a super cool backpack that will be the hottest style on the playground. I also rummaged the shelves for any electrical bits that I could, in an attempt to jumpstart our electrical training. Even though we didn't find an Electrical 1 book, getting a little ahead while we have downtime now is going to be worth it. Later, when we get a sledgehammer, we will return to West Point, but when that happens, space will be at a premium, and random electrical bits just might not make the cut. This loft is where I'm planning to spend the night. Simply put, it's got dinner and breakfast provided, a nice couch to sleep on, and keeps us local to where we want to operate tomorrow. We do still have some daylight left, so I decided to leave and go find some radios and random cars to just continue that electrical leveling that we started earlier. I really want to check out this ambulance. They have duffel bags and meds, both of which we want to get our hands on. What I didn't expect to get my hands on, however, was the key. And yeah, this might be a good ride for us. And after a little bit more clearing, we head back to our loft for the night to break down the bits and go to sleep. Wake up, eat some breakfast, grab the ambulance, and head to the gas station where surprisingly, my problems didn't magically disappear just because I left them in the rear view. But just like real life, I'd rather take my chances and deal with it, so I quickly get a fill up before getting the hell out of there. And while I'm engaging in a delicate dance with death, enjoy the smooth sounds of Dorori. It's time to go. We hit up all the stores we planned to, or at least tried to, and now it's time to head to our new home while the day is fresh. We gathered plenty of non-perishable food and some tools, but most of the other plans kind of fell apart. Regardless, it was worth it just to have this wee-woo wagon. From West Point, we'll be following this road out of town. Our ultimate destination? Mauldraugh. If you need directions, just Google Build 42 map, it should be the first link. After our small detour and a few hours on the road, we finally arrived at our new home. The GenFac manufacturing building is an incredible base location, but we have to deal with some neighbors before we can get inside and really get things sorted, so let's get these guys cleared out and get to business. Small update. Currently, car damage is significantly nerfed, so it's taking quite a bit longer to dispatch all these jerks, and it's coming at the cost of our beautiful land ship. But ultimately, it will be worth it in the end, and we will be able to find another vehicle that we can use. The zombies are all cleared out, just taking a quick detour in the apartment at Smokey's to get some vittles in me, refill my water, and prepare to head back over to see what we're really working with now. The first thing that I don't appreciate is that the zombies broke my nice metal garage door. They also broke a side door, which means I'll need to do some repairs before we can really settle in here proper. But let's talk about this factory. It already has a fridge, it has a sofa, it has 3 floors. These crates are filled to the brim with construction and other materials like metal sheets, welding rods, and propane tanks. All of these things that we're gonna need later on. It also comes with a bunch of free crates to use, so we can sort and store whatever we want. The goal from here is to balance our time between going and finding more valuable loot, things to turn this factory into a home to re, and turning this massive pile of randomly sorted stuff into a massive pile of organized, sorted stuff. So, let's get to it. But not before a little drink of tequila, a little TV, and a good night's rest.
Staring at yourself in the mirror on the 5th floor, idle in your car at the grocery store. Don't you think you could use a little bit more company? Second guess yourself in the dead of night, overanalyze the problem till you get it right. Don't you wanna be just like all the other guys? But the train only rattles when you ride alone. Can't get service, can't you live without your phone? Side of the road, look for skipping stones that fit smoothly in the palm of your hand. What makes me human contraband? Staring at the sea off the pier by the drugstore. What about your brain makes you always want more? Do you think revenge is gonna even the score in your heart? Things get messy and you get tired. I come over and clean for a while. We catch up and you're leaving with a smile, my dearest friend. Where are we gonna meet when this war ends?
Another beautiful day, and this time we are waking up in our new home. We got a lot of our repairs done yesterday, so today it's just going to be more tidying and more going out. I probably won't show any more tidying, I think you get the gist. But going out could be exciting, so let's get into it. Decided to go to my new neighbor's house with a little present, and after they enjoyed my friendly offering, I helped myself to some reciprocal housewarming gifts, this time some fun movies and other collectibles. I also tried to take a bed, but apparently taking them apart is harder than it looks. Did break into my other neighbor's shed, and to my delight, they left me a wonderful car battery charger, one of a handful of items that will help us for the entirety of our time here in Knox Country. After a little more roughhousing with the boys, I found some nice paintings in a basement nearby. And while these will really bring to life our loft, I still need a 2x1 bed, so the hunt continues. I did find an antique stove in the warehouse, which is a nice little backup until we can get an electrical one installed. New day, and I ended up getting a lot more sorting done. The garage is actually looking functional now. At the storage unit next door, we had the good luck that the looted story spawned with it, but the downside is that the guaranteed generator in the storage units is now absent. We did get a little loot, but nothing to write home about. I found another car battery charger, which, cool. You know what's really cool? This house at the end of the road. Not only did it have a perfectly sized bed, we also managed not to mangle it. So after a couple trips back and forth, we finally have our own bed, complete with pillow. The rest of the day was spent just looting. This entire time I have been slowly collecting food, drinks, meds, magazines, books, any little thing we can use, or collectibles that we can admire over time. The ultimate goal is to have fun, and being a pack rat with a dragon's hoard of little bits and bops really does it for me. But we do still have a few more things that we want to get done before the helicopter decides to pay us a visit. One thing you can do to prepare for the helicopter is listen for air activity detected on the emergency broadcast. Since every emergency vehicle has a station programmed into their radio, I just took this ham radio out of my ambulance for easy access. The other major preparation we need to make is rain collectors, and since we had plenty of hammers, nails, and axes from this factory, getting it set up was actually pretty trivial. All we need now is a sink that we can plumb to it, and we'll be set on water for basically forever. Be careful when going up these stairs not to fall off the edge. It would be a really dumb way to get a foot injury, something that I'm a bit of an expert on. Figured now would be a good time for a little check-in. We've been going for almost 6 days now, and we have acquired quite a good distribution of stats and have killed almost 200 zombies already. Today is a day of long-term planning. I want some gas cans filled in reserve while we can still use this gas station. I don't have a generator for my home, let alone a spare for this place. I'm also checking as many dumpsters as I can, because you can find a sledgehammer head in the trash bags. So after a bit of shopping, I grabbed up some gas and headed to another gas station, this time Sans Gas, looking for a fight. And I definitely got one. I got greedy. I wanted more. I wasn't sated with just one loot run today. I wanted to get myself some nice furniture too. The problem with going to the furniture store is that despite my best efforts, I didn't hear about the Black Friday sale going on. Apparently the deals were so good that they packed the nearby Sunstar Motel. So, after a lot of fighting, mostly for my life, it was time to dip and try again tomorrow. Despite a stiff drink at the house, I was still stressed out by the massive crowds and loud banging. But when I said I was going to be playing myself, this wasn't exactly what I had in mind. I decided to do some tidying up, and the garage looks fantastic now. I did stay up till 1 a.m. to catch the emergency broadcast, just to make sure I wasn't going to be getting any air activity tomorrow, if you know what I mean. And of note, the latest patch really broke the emergency broadcast. I hope you weren't using it for anything. Since air activity wasn't detected today, it was going to be a full run of getting some nice decor for the house. I want to go back to the furniture store, primarily for a stove, and to the school for some nice rugs and some other nice knickknacks. I found a toilet, so now we have somewhere to get a drink from our rain collectors. I went home and installed it right away because our piece of shit station wagon has basically no storage capacity. I also grabbed a water dispenser. They're very convenient. At the school, I grabbed up some books, this really cool rainbow shag rug, some nice potted plants, and some more water dispenser bottles. I'd like to have a water dispenser on the ground floor and in my loft, and since they hold 15 liters at a time, they are pretty convenient to keep around. Beyond that, we were homebound once again with our fat pile of loot. After getting home, we started to put our loft together, and it's starting to look pretty nice. I did decide I wanted new curtains, so back to the neighborhood to find some upgrades. I also wanted some new flooring, a medicine cabinet, a mirror, but this might as well be an estate sale after our first encounter. I did a few upgrades to my own bathroom, realized that I can't put tile down on this poured concrete, and decided that tiling the bathroom was probably a future me problem. And after a long day of deconstructing my neighbor's house, it was time to listen to the emergency broadcast. Back to the neighbors because I'm not done stealing carpet. I don't know what else to tell you. I want red carpet in my loft. I also remembered that this van existed and I wanted to see if it had a key. I still haven't grinded out the requirements for hot wiring, so it's a bit of a prayer, but I really want a vehicle that can actually haul stuff rather than the station wagon. It didn't have a key. Sad days. I decided to go get some movies to console myself. I also wanted to find the mechanics VHS to kind of jumpstart my mechanics skill, and then I can just focus on getting my electrical skill to start hot wiring. And to my dismay, the latest patch broke the back room, so no more hotties or hunks for us today. I searched shelf after shelf to no avail. I found dozens of new movies and shows to watch, but not the one I wanted the most. All because the stingy owners decided to keep the best show in the back room. But we did get what we came here for, so I can't complain too much, though I might find a way to anyways. I did want to bring this bright red car back, but neither car could tow the other, so I did a quick hot swap in the street and headed out. I can't place carpet in my loft, which, very cool, but what happened next may shock you, or at least that's what I would have said 10 years ago if I was really trying to clickbait. You remember how I was diligently checking the emergency broadcast for air activity? Apparently that's fucking useless now because ready or not, here comes a chopper and I'm sitting on my ass, right at home, totally unprepared. I was not ready for this helicopter. I am trying to fight as many as possible right now while there's still daylight. This started very close to home, and while I could ditch and sort something out later, I think the best bet is to just stay somewhat nearby, defend the homestead, try to stay at least some distance away so cleanup duty later won't be totally miserable at my actual base. My biggest fear is I'm going to lose my other garage door, and I'm going to maybe lose some other doors, and I'm going to have to start thinking about prioritizing construction quickly to get repairs that are actually longer lasting. But we'll figure that out later. I've got more urgent things to attend to at this moment, so get back into it. I may have bitten off more than I can chew with this plan, but I really do still believe that this is the best bet. I wish I had some food so I could keep being combat effective, but that's kind of a secondary concern right now. Since the helicopter is left, at least for now, there's still a chance it can come back before the end of the day. I'm gonna go to the house and see what we're working with and how bad it is, and then decide what we're gonna do. Okay, so it's really bad. I'm going to lure a lot of these guys away from here for now. Make this future Wavesy's problem because current Wavesy is in no condition for this many Zomboyos. I am going to come up with a plan while I'm doing this because right now I'm totally not sure what my next move should be after I drag a bunch of them away. Uh, we're gonna just keep going with this for now. Came up through the neighborhood. I cleared a few Zeds that were going towards where I rang the dinner bell, which was pretty close by, not gonna lie. I don't love it, but I can get inside. There's no break-in so far. I have a chance to get some food at least, and I am thinking we'll go back out and try to clear some of the ones that are straggling, and maybe that's the plan. I'm not really sure. That is super cool. That Gun Blast random event is somewhere really close to home, so just kind of doubling down on these hordes. A helicopter is, I think, 8 times louder than a shotgun, so it's just going to move what the helicopter already brought to the area. However, it might undo some of the dragging I did, which is not good. It's late, I need to sneak in and rest for the night and give myself a fresh start to deal with this tomorrow. I don't have the caffeine pills to keep going through the night, so that's going to be the plan. That's going to be the plan. So it seems that there's a big migration towards Smokies. I'm honestly okay with that right now. I just want to know what I'm working with. It's really risky to watch them from inside and opening a window. I don't want to draw attention to the warehouse, but you can see that this is just going to be a problem for a while. As long as they keep migrating down the highway and don't get sidetracked, I'll be more than happy with that. I can work with that in the morning. I just don't want anybody knocking during the night. I know this is a bit of a bad time, but if you've watched this far, how do you think the loft is coming along? It's still got a lot to go, but I'm honestly really happy with how it's coming together. And it has the extra doors, just, even more protection from break-ins. I'm also making a little combat drink for tomorrow. If you don't know this trick, take some kind of bottle. I'm using a perfume bottle. You put 50% water, a shot of alcohol, and the rest milk. You'll auto drink it over time, and it provides pain relief, nutrition, and hydration all at once. Consider keeping some of these pre-made and around, maybe in one of those giant clay vessels for fluid mixing. Might not be a bad idea. But we made it through the night. It doesn't seem like there's any break-ins. We just gonna be really careful and do some patrolling around the base, see what we've got going on. Aside from a couple stragglers, it is eerily calm this morning, but I'm afraid that's all the time I have for this episode. please go check out to Rory. Again, his channel is the top link in the description. I know we didn't accomplish that much overall, but now that we've crossed off all of this prep and got the surprise helicopter out of the way, we have a lot of business to get down to next time. The first location in the crosshairs? Louisville. I have some business to attend to. I didn't get my guns from West Point, and I'm going to get them from somewhere. So thanks so much for watching. Please like the video if you liked it. Really helps me out a lot. I can't really explain how much it actually helps. And consider subscribing if you want to see some more from me. I would appreciate that as well. I love y'all, thank y'all, and take care.